I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey you guys, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So I wanted to forewarn you guys on a couple different fronts. There are some really aggressive cicadas outside of my home studio, and I'm not sure if they're coming through for you guys, but I just wanted to apologize in advance. I feel like they do this every summer, and anyway, it's the one way I feel like this studio is breached by outside noises. So just wanted to apologize in advance. Again, I record out of my home, so sometimes we're going to get my dog or some cicadas or a thunderstorm occasionally. So anywho, I appreciate your patience. And I also wanted to update you guys and kind of forewarn you guys that today's episode is super light. We don't have a crazy news day to end off the week. So I wanted to update you guys about the writer's strike, of course, tell you about an over-the-counter birth control pill that is coming soon, and then also update you on the whole cocaine in the White House debacle. Let's get into it. So, like I said, we're going to start with a writer's strike update. As many of you guys have probably expected, the Hollywood writers did not reach a deal with the studios. Some studio executives have now come out saying that they feel that the writers and their unions are not being quote unquote reasonable with their demands. But like so many actors have come out saying through a petition, it is now or never. This is their moment. This is their chance. And they really have to go for what they want and need in their lives while they have these studios in the hot seat. So they're striking. This is the beginning of the official strike right now. And some of our favorite TV shows are set to be disrupted and movie release dates, etc. It will all halt. It will halt all scripted film and TV production, which was already experiencing some delays due to these ongoing negotiations. The last time that both writers' unions went on strike together was actually back in 1960, according to Variety magazine. So honestly, there's not much more to say here, you guys. The writers will keep fighting. They will start striking. The work will stop. And that's pretty much where things have landed for now. They're at a standstill until somebody rolls over. It's basically a blinking contest at this point. Who will blink first? And next, I wanted to touch on the over-the-counter birth control pill that is coming to U.S. markets very soon. This is obviously a significant step towards reproductive freedom for women in America. We may not have reliable access to abortions, but now we can readily prevent unwanted pregnancies in the first place. Although it's been controversial for some time, it's also been known for some time that the FDA was moving towards this decision to put an over-the-counter birth control option on the market. The medication is called Opill, and it will be officially the most effective birth control method that is available over the counter, more effective than condoms or spermicides or any other birth control form that we've had over the counter. What this will really do is enable young women all over the country to access birth control on their own terms, and make decisions about their reproductive health for themselves without their parents having to get involved or booking doctor's appointments. The medication is produced in Dublin, Ireland, and will likely become available here in the US in early 2024. That said, they have not told us how much this pill may cost, but they have said that certain assistance programs will make it free for women who are in dire financial situations. Because at the end of the day, if you can't afford birth control, you most certainly cannot afford to care for a child. This drug and access to it will be a huge win for women and teen girls, especially those living in poverty here in the US. If you want more information about this pill or have any questions for us, we want to answer those questions. So be sure to hit us up on social media, or you can always email me at the email address in our show notes. And for our final story today, I wanted to update you guys on the cocaine situation in the West Wing. So before we go for the weekend, there is an update to the whole cocaine scandal in the White House. And the update, I will tell you, you've been warned, it is not satisfying. So there were no fingerprints or DNA recovered from this baggie of cocaine by the FBI. So they basically have zero leads as to who this cocaine may belong to. I do think it's a bit sus, just that given, come on. The West Wing has probably one of the most sophisticated surveillance systems in the world, and yet you're telling me that they don't have this person on video camera? Also, whoever did put this there cannot be the brightest bulb, because dude, why would you bring illicit drugs into such a high profile, high pressure, closely surveilled place? It makes zero sense, and you would think if this person is such an idiot, they'd be able to catch them. Unless this person was just such an addict that maybe they weren't thinking straight about this decision because they're so addicted to this drug. That said, the FBI does have a list of, a few hundred people who passed through the White House during the time in question. So someone on this list brought the cocaine in there. Tours were happening, though, during the weekend that the drugs were found. So that certainly complicates things, because it means that there were a ton of people whose names we do know, though, because they have to buy a ticket and they have to go through the guards and everything. I think they have to show their ID. So we know who these people are, but there are hundreds who passed through this area of the White House during that weekend. It's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack at this point. And honestly, because there is no definitive evidence to link someone to it, like fingerprints or DNA or video surveillance, it would actually be hard to prove that this belonged to a specific person in court, I would think. So it's kind of a tough situation, but if anything else comes out about this story, we will be sure to keep you guys posted. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "Her heart was made of liquid sunsets." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. Any little noises you may hear in the background are my rescue pup. He has a little separation anxiety and always records with me. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.